Don't know if you're aware of this, but electricity is dangerous. So you should probably just leave it to the professionals. All right, so it should go without saying, but make sure all the power is off. As you can see in this panel, I have all the breakers are off. There's nothing on, there's nothing connected. All right, so real quick before we get started, I'm just going to give you a kind of a rundown of what we're looking at and what I'm trying to accomplish here. So as you can see, we have the main panel. That's where the breakers are. That's where all the electricity is coming from. That main panel is supplying a junction box, right? So we have the main power coming up into a junction box. Then out of that junction box, it goes over to a deck box. And then out of the deck box, it runs to the spa light, as you can see in this little animation. And then if we go back over to the junction box again, you'll see that we have power coming out of that junction box, going over to another deck box, which is running to the pool light. Now, sometimes they will put one deck box and have the spa and the pool light. It depends where the lights are in the pool. These are at complete opposite ends, so they separate it and they did two separate deck boxes. So what am I attempting to do? What do I need to do here? Well, if we go back into the junction box, basically what I need to do is I need to find out where is the main power that's coming from the panel. What wires are they? Also, I need to figure out what wires are the pool light and what wires are the spa light. So I need to separate everything and track everything down and figure out exactly what wires are what and where are they going. So these three wires here, these three sets of wires here in the junction box is what I'm trying to figure out. So the first thing I do, again, all the power is off. I go to both of my deck boxes and I take the hot and the neutral and I wire nut them together. So as you can see, I have the pool light and the spa light in both different deck boxes. I have both of them tied together. Now we're going to go into the junction box, pull the lid off of it, and as you can see, it's just a rat's nest. Now I'm going to make sure that I have my continuity on my tester, and I'm going to test the continuity. Make sure that I'm getting a tone coming out, which I am. Now I know my wires that I'm looking for are white and black, and I have a bundle of black and a bundle of white. So I put the continuity tester to those and I get a beep. I get continuity running through those. So that tells me that they are in fact my light wires. That they're the wires that are coming from the panel and they're the wires that are going to my deck boxes. Now, as you can see here, if you just look inside, you'll usually be able to tell you have a pipe coming up with a black wire, a white wire, a ground, and a bond. Same thing as the deck boxes. So I can continuity test those, and if I get the beep, then I know that that's what it is. Then I go and I take one apart and I leave the other one connected. That'll allow me to continuity test those two pipes that are coming up, and I'll get a beep out of one, but I'm not going to get a beep out of the other one, right? So that tells me one is my pool light, one is my spa light, right? Because I disconnected my pool light, so I shouldn't get any continuity going through that, but I should get it from my spa. Once I have those figured out, I can go into my panel and kind of do the same thing. This is going to be a little more difficult because I have a lot more wires coming through this pipe, right? So the way you kind of do this is, in my panel, if I have 4 red wires, 2 neutrals, and 2 black wires and grounds, I should have that exact same thing in the junction box, just like with the lights, right? So I figure out where my power from the panel to the junction box is coming in at, and I basically guess and I tie those two hot and neutrals together. Then I can go back and I can continuity test. Now, I disconnected both pool lights, so the only thing that's connected now is that main power coming from the panel. So once I get a tone, I can then, you know, discern that that's the one. I can then figure out that that's the one, and then I can go ahead and I can start to wrap them up and label them, as you see here. So all I do is I just wire them together. I take a little bit of tape and some paper, and I'll write on main, I'll write on shallow, spotlight, and I'll just tape those wires together. This pool is going to be getting new lights, and they're low voltage lights. So again, we got to figure out all of these different different wires where they're going to, so that way we can come into our transformer from our switch. You know, we can go from the panel to our switch to our transformer to our lights. Now that I have everything labeled up, I can then kind of tuck it back together and then basically do the same thing with the panel. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.